I guess, to start? Didn't it seemed like you wanted to work some back points early, weren't able to get them, and then you got the pin late. What kind of take us through your match?
Yeah, I've been wanting to get back points, I feel like, for the last couple matches, and I haven't been able to. So I think I did a good job today of kind of just wrestling and letting the back points come instead of really trying to force it. I think that's probably how I'm going to, get more opportunities to get back points. It's just to wrestle the match, and if I wrestle how I did today, then I'll wrestle myself into more back points.
Luke, there was a lot of action, a lot of energy in the two matches right before you. I don't know how much of those you were really paying attention to, but did that impact you at all? And then take us through your match as well.
It did a little bit, but one thing I've been trying to focus on recently is just like worrying about my match, because I don't know, some previous matches, I've watched the matches and kind of maybe let that affect me a little bit, how they perform. And it's good when they go out there and they perform well, but sometimes when they don't perform well, like Oregon State, we kind of got in that bad role and we just didn't wrestle well 3 matches in a row. And it's like, I've just been trying to focus on myself. So, I mean, obviously it's good, the crowd's into it, but I don't really pay attention to it much. But I know they were scoring a lot of points, so that was good.
What did you feel was the key for you in your match today?
Just staying focused the whole time and just wrestling through, and just wrestling each position and not losing my mind really out there and just staying focused.
What have you seen from Travis as he's made this jump? I know you're coming down in weight. He's coming up a couple of classes. What have you seen from him and what he's bringing at 184?
I mean, that guy's really good. He's got a lot of skill and stuff. I wrestled with him a little bit last week after duel. He's strong, like in the collar tie. Like, there's not a lot of guys I think that'll be able to take him down, and he can take down pretty much everybody in the country. So, I think it's good for him. He's feeling good. He's not cutting much weight, so he's coming in having good practices, not worrying about his weight, worrying about wrestling. So I think it's been really beneficial for him to go up, and I think he's only going to get better the more he wrestles at this weight.
Luke and Daton, if you want to comment on this too, I mean, do you guys look at him in the room now and say, yeah, he's a 184 pounder? I mean, because it was a big jump for him, and sometimes people say, oh, he needs to cut more weight.
Yeah.
But boy, he seems natural where he's at right now. Would you guys agree or not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he's looked really good the past couple weeks. I think that there was always going to be a little bit of a transition for him, going up 2 weight classes. 'Cause that's a lot of weight to go up, And once he started to feel, the strength of those bigger guys and just how heavy they are, I think that now he's adjusted to it, and now he's wrestling more like he did when he was a 165 pounder. And he's using his speed, and he's getting the ankles, and he's just putting off a lot more points than he was the first couple matches of the year. And I think that was just due to going up 2 weight classes, and he hadn't felt those big guys yet. And now that he's adjusted a little bit, he's looked great the last couple weeks.
In the room, do you get a pretty good feel for where he's at?
Yeah, I wrestled with him. I haven't wrestled with him a lot, but I actually wrestled with him a lot more in preseason. Coach having us go, which I was quite a bit bigger then, but he's still he was strong and he could hold his own, and he's got really good skill, so he's fast, so it's good for me to go with him. But even now, he's big, and sometimes when you don't cut weight, you look bigger, but he weighs quite a bit, and 65 was a super tough cut for him, so I mean, it was just better all around for him, so.
You weren't, like you said, you're focusing on your match, but yours was done. You probably got, I mean, I'm telling you, you don't see many Plot got into. I mean, that guy came out like the Energizer Bunny. They were bouncing all over the mat for about 2.5 periods before they slowed down a little bit.
Oh yeah. One thing about Plot is, if you're gonna get in that kind of match with Plot, then you better have a big old gas tank on you, because he has a gas tank on him and he's not gonna get tired. So I think he did a good job of just staying calm. Just a lot of the times, sometimes you get in those kind of matches and you start to panic a little bit, but he just kept wrestling his match, and he ended up kind of breaking that guy at the end. I think he got that last takedown, and that guy dropped his head. And I think he could have got more takedowns if he wanted to, but it was a good thing that he decided to ride him out.
There's kind of 2 tough guys for Blankenship to start his dual career against. But what have you seen from him in the room, obviously being another local kid?
Yeah, Zach's he's a tough kid. You know, that is, he's had two good kids. You know, it's hard whenever, you know, those are your matches that you get kind of thrown in there. But, you know, he's tough, and I think that, you know, there's, you know, a lot of room for improvement, but, you know, he can definitely hold his own with a lot of the guys at 125. It was just kind of unfortunate that he drew two pretty tough kids first matches, but I think that if he gets the opportunity to wrestle in, you know, any more duels this year, then he'll be right in the match.
Luke, I know your last two have been major decisions. Tech fall, obviously, against Columbia. What's been going right for you lately?
I don't know. Just wrestle more like how I'm practicing. I mean, maybe the opponents haven't been as tough, but I mean, even I've just been pleased with my matches overall. Just wrestling the whole time. Because I know early in the year I stopped wrestling in a few of my matches, and so just even when I had big leads in some matches, I stopped wrestling. So just wrestling 3 periods, and just wrestling a more like better match overall, not just like 1 period, you know. So.
One more for these guys when we go to the autograph session.
I mean, I know obviously 3 major decisions today in a pin. Couple on Friday. Coach Smith's obviously preached, you know, being tougher and finishing matches, like you said, all season long. Finally starting to come into fruition with you guys. What are you seeing from the team as a whole? I guess it's for both of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that, you know, Luke and Whitlake, you know, they both looked really good, especially later in the matches. They kind of wore on the other guys and just kind of broke them at the end. And I think that they could have taken them down as many times as they wanted towards the end of those matches. And that's what you want to see. You know, you want to see guys, you know, fade. You want to see them fade and us, you know, start to perform in that 3rd period. And that's how you win. You know, close matches as well. You know, not just get bonus points, but you know, it's a close match. You want to be the one that's, you know, pushing for points in that 3rd period and not fading.
Yeah, it's just good and exciting, you know. Like Coach was talking about a little bit last week of like being somebody your teammate like wants to like gets excited about and just getting some momentum. So I feel like we got on a roll recently, you know, like especially Daton coming out early, getting the pin, and Carter getting a good win, you know, and then just continuing it up. So I think it's just been good, you know, just getting the team growing all together, because it seems like it's been like some guys have been doing good some duels, and then some guys have been doing good other duels. So like just getting us all together and doing good no matter what, seems like it's going to help us out a lot going forward.
Thanks, guys.